He didn't cry when I found him. That was the part that scared me most. The orange fur was dull, damp with morning mist, blending into the fallen leaves like he'd learned how to disappear. His eyes were open but tired, too tired for a kitten that young. He sat there, tucked in on himself, not running, not calling, just waiting. I stopped a few steps away. Not because I was afraid, but because I didn't want to break whatever tiny strength he was holding on to. Slow enough that the world wouldn't feel like it was rushing at him again. My hand rested on the dirt, palm open, doing nothing. Still, he didn't move. His ears twitched once at the sound of my breath. That's when I noticed how thin he was. How his ribs showed through that soft orange coat. How one paw tucked under his chest like it hurt to hold it there. He wasn't abandoned in a dramatic way. No storm. No loud danger. I didn't reach for him. I spoke softly instead. Not words meant to convince, just sound meant to exist. I'm here. His eyes blinked once. Slow. Deliberate. A sign of exhaustion. Or maybe trust. I slid a towel closer, inch by inch, until it touched his side. He flinched. Then stopped. That was the moment I knew. Not because he came to me, but because he let something come to him. I wrapped him gently, careful of the paw, careful of the fear still sitting behind his eyes. His body was warm, but weak, trembling in a way that had nothing to do with cold. He sighed. A deep, shaky release that felt like he'd been holding the weight of the world in his tiny chest. Inside, the room was quiet. I placed him down on soft blankets, gave him space, gave him time. He didn't explore. He didn't hide. He curled up right there in the open, like he didn't have the energy to pretend anymore. I sat nearby, not touching, not hovering. Just staying. Minutes passed. Then something small happened. His breathing slowed. The tightness in his body softened. His head rested fully against the blanket instead of hovering, ready to flee. That is when I realized something important. Rescue doesn't always look like saving someone from danger. Later, when he finally opened his eyes again, he looked straight at me. Not asking. Not begging. Just checking. I met his gaze and stayed exactly where I was. He closed his eyes again. That's when I understood. He was home. I didn't rush this part. Food can scare a body that's been hungry too long. I placed the bowl down and watched it for a long while, giving space instead of encouragement. Not the way a hungry kitten watches food, but the way someone watches something they were not sure they were allowed to want. His nose twitched once. Then he looked at me, not asking, just checking. I stayed still. I didn't nod. I didn't move closer, because safety means nothing if it disappears the moment you test it. Slowly, he leaned forward. Stopped. Pulled back. Then leaned again, a single lick. He froze like he expected something bad to happen. Nothing did. Another lick. Then one more. His shoulders relaxed just enough for me to see it. The tension he'd been carrying finally loosened. He ate quietly. No rushing, no guarding. When he finished, he didn't run away. He sat there, blinking slowly. That's when I understood something important. Hunger teaches fear. Safety teaches choice. That wasn't just the first time he ate. It was the first time he believed he didn't have to fight for every meal. At first, it didn't look like play, just movement. A tail flicked once, slow, unsure. A paw stretched forward, then pulled back. I didn't react, because joy scares a body that's still learning safety. He noticed the string by accident, not chasing it, just seeing it move when he shifted. His eyes followed it, cautious, curious. He reached out. Missed. Froze. Nothing bad happened. He tried again. This time the paw landed. The string moved. That was all it took. A tiny hop. A clumsy twist. He stopped again, breathing fast, not from fear but surprise. I stayed still. Because play needs permission to exist. Then he did something that made my chest tighten. Exposed. For just a second. That's not play. He batted the string again, more confident now. Tail swishing. Ears relaxed. He wasn't watching me anymore. He was in the moment. And that's when I realized fear watches the room. Healing watches the game. This wasn't about toys or entertainment. It was his body remembering something important. Life can be light again. When he finally stopped, he didn't run away. He curled up right there where he had played. Because now that space belonged to him.